Welcome to the Mayor Spotlight Podcast, the monthly show where I shed light on the stories, people, and initiatives shaping our community. I'm your host, Mayor Blake Margolis, and on today's episode, I'm excited to introduce you to a key player in our community's growth and development, Brittney Farr, who is Director of Economic and Community Engagement. And as we dive into our conversation with Brittney, you'll discover the vision and passion she brings to her role in Rowlett and how her experience and expertise will impact our community. So welcome, Brittney, to Rowlett. We're very excited to have you. So you've recently joined our team here in Rowlett. Can you tell our listeners a little bit about your background? Who are you?
Certainly. And thank you so much for having me on today. I'm on week 2 here in the city of Rowlett, and I just continue to be amazed by the growth and opportunity here in the city. A little bit about me. I tell people I'm a lawyer by trade, but do not hold that against me. I'm on step 10 of recovery. It's called not billing hours and loving life. So moved away from the legal environment. I've actually spent the last dozen or so years of my career in the public transportation sector. So for the first 8 years of my career, I worked in a variety of roles at Dallas Area Rapid Transit, most notably as local and regional government relations manager, where I held responsibility for DART's relationship with all 13 of its service area cities, including the city of Rowlett. I also created what's now known as the DART Social Responsibility Office, or as we called it, the Office of Community Connections, where I held responsibility for a lot of the social initiatives that DART was tasked with overseeing: homelessness and mental health, food insecurity, human trafficking, those kinds of different social programs. And then spent the last 2 years, most recently at the Denton County Transportation Authority, where I served as the Senior Director of Engagement and Administration with oversight of government relations, the marketing communications team, human resources, and a variety of other administrative functions.
Lots of experience. Yeah. And it seems like a lot of your experience is around the community engagement aspect, which is something that's unique that you're going to be bringing to Rowlett, and something that, we've been really working toward enhancing and how we engage with our community and programs and so what. So as a newcomer to Rowlett, what have you discovered about our community that has maybe impressed you or inspired you the most?
I think for me, the city of Rowlett has a little bit of something for everyone. It's uniquely placed in the Metroplex, particularly to be on Lake Ray Hubbard. You have a lot of recreational activities that the other cities just don't have. So whether you're looking to explore the bike trails, do something recreational on the lake, looking for good school districts, looking for an urban lifestyle here in downtown Rowlett, it's got a little bit of something for everyone here. And so I've been really impressed at the opportunity that Rowlett has as it's positioned here in the Metroplex to really grow and expand while maintaining that small town feel that people that have lived here for some time have really come to love about the city.
Yeah, so you've already been talking to some people then, because you said you answered that pretty well. So, because that's probably the number one thing I hear from our residents is, how do we grow responsibly and at the same time maintain that small town feel? It's something that we are very fortunate to have, even with all the growth that we've experienced, is that small town feel. And I attribute that a lot to our engagement with the community. So now I asked you what are some things that inspired you or that you thought was interesting about Rowlett. What is an area that you think we could maybe do better or something different with regards to maybe the economic and or community engagement aspect?
I don't think that, I think a lot of the things that need to happen are already in the works. So one of the things that I'm most excited about is the Strategic Downtown Planning Initiative. An old mentor of mine used to always say to me, you have to have a plan. And with the amount of growth that's coming to this region, we really need to understand who we are as the city of Rowlett so that we can retain the businesses that conform to that identity and then go out and bring in the businesses that would expand upon that identity. And you can't do that without a solid solid plan that you activate. And so I think what the council has decided to do by creating the downtown manager position, by embarking on this strategic downtown plan, will help a lot in helping us shape what we want to be when we grow up, so to speak. So we're doing all the right things. It's just growing in a smart way that allows the residents of this community to feel like they have a stake in what's going on and that they want to be here for generations to come.
Absolutely. That is, I mean, a downtown really is the heart of every community. And if your downtown is not thriving or being successful, likely the rest of your town isn't. And so really focusing on our downtown to build it and grow it and have that plan will drive the growth and development and planning efforts for the entire city. So we're excited about that opportunity and looking forward to really enhancing our downtown even more, bringing in additional business opportunities. And
yeah, because it goes beyond just the business opportunities. Downtown is a quality of life incubator here in the city of Rowlett. The number of events and activities that we have going on downtown every year, it really has the ability to be the catalyst for the rest of the city. And it's really exciting to watch it all kind of unfold.
Yes, absolutely. So as director of the newly launched division called Economic and Community Engagement, how do you see these two aspects interconnecting and reinforcing each other?
Well, it's really a little bit of the same thing, just with different audiences. So the whole thought behind creating the new community engagement department is to consolidate all of the outreach efforts we're already doing in economic development, with the downtown activation that we spoke a little bit about, with all of our communication efforts, and then with all of the special events that we put on each and every year into one clearinghouse. Right now, all of those different facets were managed by other departments that had their own plans and agendas. This makes it to where we can all be in one department, so everyone knows what we're doing. We can combine our efforts, and we're all singing from the same choir book. What we're doing in economic development is not that different than what we're doing from a quality of life standpoint. By having good businesses, good activities downtown, good recreational activities for our residents, that's going to bring in not only more people, but businesses that want to relocate here. So economic development may be singing alto, and special events are singing soprano, and community engagement is singing baritone, but we're all singing from the same choir book. We just need to make sure we're harmonizing so we can maximize our impact, so both our residents and potential businesses wanting to relocate to Rowlett know what an amazing opportunity they're walking into.
I think that's the best way to really describe the combination between the two departments, or one department being created and economic development coming together into one. I think you just described it as best as it could be, because people have asked me, explain that this change, right? And it really is about what you just said, is that it's all about singing from that same choir book. As we're previous to this, we just kind of had, like you said, our own thing going on everywhere else, and there wasn't really any
cohesion.
Yeah, maybe that's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
And so now we can really all, every event is being managed by the same people under the same processes, so that covers really the community engagement aspect, also enhancing some of our events as well on top of that. But then also, how does that help us with our economic development? And it does. That's one of the things that bigger businesses look at, is how active is your community? Is your community a place that we want to call our home? And they do look at what we do. In a meeting probably a month ago, with some interested parties, and that was one of the things that they were asking about was, how active is our community? And then going into explaining that really gave them the information that they needed to decide whether Rowlett was their place to call home or not. So I couldn't have explained it better than you have about why these two combining is really going to enhance our efforts in both economic and community engagement. So what are some upcoming projects or initiatives that the residents of Rowlett can look forward to in terms of economic and community development?
So the first one I've already mentioned, which is the strategic downtown Rowlett initiative. This is an opportunity not just for residents of downtown, but everyone that lives in Rowlett, everyone that visits Rowlett, everyone that would visit Rowlett if there was an X in downtown. That's going to be a very great opportunity for businesses, residents, stakeholders, visitors, elected officials to put forth their thoughts and ideas on what the future of Rowlett should be. So I would encourage everyone to keep their eyes peeled for those initiatives, those meetings, those strategic planning work sessions. The consultant that we've brought on is really impressive in the way that they allow community input. COVID has changed so many things. So rather than holding a meeting and expecting residents to show up to it, you have to go to where the people are now. So we'll be sure to be going to where the people are to be able to get this feedback for that downtown strategic planning. I think a lot of the activity that's going on in the North Shore is very exciting. COVID changed some things with regard to what is the best use for things like business parks. So there is a little bit of a re-envisioning of what North Shore should be, but
or could be,
really. Yeah. And another unique aspect about Rowlett is the available land there. In the DFW Metroplex, land is not something that we have an abundance of. So we, again, going back to you have a plan, we're in control of our own destiny with what takes place in the North Shore area. Sapphire Bay is finally starting to go vertical. So we've seen the completion of the first phase of the townhomes. We've seen the completion of the first multifamily there. We've got a couple of the restaurants that are starting to go live. We drove Sapphire Bay the other day, and Bombshells is already underway. Shortly after that, the Margaritaville Resort will start. So that's a really exciting opportunity. And then again, just what holes are left in the city? What do the residents want to see? What kind of businesses do they want to see infill? Not just in the downtown area, not just in North Shore, not just in Sapphire Bay, but throughout the city. So really keeping an eye on where there are vacancies and what kind of businesses that we're bringing in. Again, all part of that identity of what Rowlett will be moving into the latter part of the 2020s, which is wild to think about already.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's you mentioned the North Shore, and I thought that was a great point to bring up. Is that's one of the things that council will be looking at soon in the future. Is what is our current vision, right? A lot of it is focused on the office park, like you said, and COVID kind of changed that. In fact, right now, business offices are kind of more dead than retail at this point, according to the numbers from the North. I think it's the North Texas or DFW Chamber rather. And so now it's kind of looking at what are opportunities out there that we could be a competitor on in the North Shore, because really your tall office buildings are not, they're not really happening anymore post-COVID. So it's really about looking at how can we enhance the current vision for North Shore to actually be achievable, and bringing in jobs, whether that's manufacturing or whether that's shopping, whatever you call it. So I think that's really all the questions that I have. I guess my last question would be, what do you see the future of Rowlett?
To be succinct, the future of Rowlett is very strong. There's so much growth coming to this region. There's so much growth coming to Rowlett itself. We've got a council that is very proactive and on vision and what they want to see happen. And we've got staff that is working hard to achieve the vision set by council. I think the future of Rowlett is going to be nothing short of amazing. You are a diamond here in the DFW region. You have so much to offer, both residents, businesses, whoever's looking for a great place to live, work, and play. Don't look any further than Rowlett. Your position is great with respect to the airports, you've got the DART station, which of course I am a little biased, but I think that is an opportunity in and of itself. There's just so much opportunity here in the city, and I'm really excited to be here and really excited to be a part of what comes next.
All right. Well, thank you for tuning in to the Mayor Spotlight. Thank you to Brittney for being here. And thank you for joining our conversation with her, who is now the Director of Economic and Community Engagement. And that we hope you're as excited as we are about the future of Rowlett. There's a lot that we have coming forward, and we're excited about it. And to ensure that you never miss an episode of the Mayor Spotlight, be sure to subscribe by visiting rowlett.com/podcast. Stay engaged, stay informed, and have a great day, Rowlett.